I'm Tom Moore, your local Halifax realtor, and this is the North End Neighborhood Spotlight. Hi folks, welcome to the North End of Halifax. And today, because the North End is such a storied neighborhood, I figured we'd spend a bit of time on the history. The North End was really started back at the founding of Halifax, but it was used as a bit of an agricultural offshoot that was settled primarily by African Americans and German Protestant settlers. Now, slowly into the 1800s, this became more of an industrial area with the establishment of the Nova Scotia Railway. Following that, obviously, a lot of manufacturing companies joined into the neighborhood and set up shop here, further boosting the production. Following that, we saw the establishment of facilities like HMC Dockyard and Rockhead Prison, which this is the pit of the North End. This was used actually as the quarry by the prisoners, and now, as you can see, it's been turned into this beautiful park area for everybody to enjoy. The North End became more of a working class neighborhood as the development of industrial shipping facilities popped up along the waterfront. And up until World War I, that is how the North End really became into its own. Now, during World War I, in 1917, we witnessed one of the worst man-made disasters with the Halifax explosion that utterly decimated the North End and forced the regridding of the city. We'll go to North End's Needham Park now and continue the story from there. Well, here we are at Needham Park for part 2 of our Halifax explosion story. Now, this is an important location for a few reasons. One, we're quite high above the North End, and this hill acted as a bit of a barrier from the Halifax explosion and protected portions of the city. Number 2, we have the Needham Memorial and many other iron statues located throughout this park that are actually from the Halifax explosion itself. Finally, one of the interesting portions of the Halifax explosion was that it was actually used to create the atomic bombs that would eventually defeat Japan in World War II. Keeping with the trend of World War II, the North End was a true staging point for a lot of the Allies and American supplies that would eventually head over to Europe, mainland Europe, in order to defeat the Axis and Germany. Bedford Basin, which is located just at the end of the North End, actually it looked like a parking lot during World War II, and really drives home how much manpower was required to do that work. In more modern times, the North End is really a hip, kind of artsy community located close to downtown, and it's filled with both families and old Haligonians alike. And the demographics, the makeup of that neighborhood has really changed over time, but it's truly come into its own over the last several decades here and grows into something new once again. Before we continue, if you are enjoying this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment about maybe an experience you've had in the North End of Halifax before, or something else you can share with folks. The North End is a very centrally located neighborhood. Obviously, we're on the Halifax Peninsula, so we are close to downtown here. In terms of schools, hospitals, you're going to have everything within the neighborhood itself. So the hospitals and the high school are about a 2-minute drive or a 5-minute walk, depending on where you are in the neighborhood. Now, in terms of shopping, currently we're in the Hydrostone Shopping District, which, as you can see, kind of gives you a bit of a European feel. This is full of local shops, restaurants, things of that nature, whatever you kind of need on a local level. There's also a few other areas like Bricola or even Gottingen Street, depending on what you're looking for. The Halifax Shopping Centre provides some big box stores, and grocery stores and liquor stores are within the neighborhood itself as well. Now, when it comes to parks, we've already seen 2, but there's a few other different areas, and you can access the ocean at the bottom of the north end. Due to the large footprint of the north end, the prices are going to vary. On average, single-family homes we're seeing go for in between $550 and $650. Condos in between $400 and $500. One-bedroom apartments are renting for around $1,400, and 3 bedrooms are going in the neighborhood of about $2,600. However, all these price points are going to vary greatly depending on what it is you're actually looking for in your place of residence, whether it's fully updated, larger, smaller, older, newer. The North End actually has a very interesting makeup in the fact that the area that we're in right now, closer to downtown, many of these homes are over 100 years old, where in certain other parts of the North End, you've got post-war era builds and even some newer, smaller neighborhoods scattered throughout.